Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Finally Feel Free event. Today, I have a really special guest, Ruth Ratliff. She is a licensed vibrational sound therapist, professional vocalist, and voice teacher, passionate about the healing power of sound. Blending science and spirituality, she uses sound, voice, and vibration to help individuals connect with their body's wisdom, promoting wellness, expansion, and spiritual growth. And through workshops, meditations, and her online course, Healing with Your Sacred Voice, Ruth guides others to calm their minds, release anxiety, and embrace their authentic selves. And based in Hope, New Jersey, she offers in-person and virtual sound therapy and is a published author of The Voice of Women's Wisdom. Ruth, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be a part of this beautiful summit. Thank you.
It's so nice to have you. And today we are talking about and delving into the world of radical self-care with sound, voice, and vibration. So, first of all, I just want to dive straight in and I just want to ask you, what happens when you put the word radical in front of self-care? Like, does it change the meaning?
That's a great question. Yes, I think it does because when you think about self-care, don't you think about maybe going to get your nails done, or or going for a spa day, or maybe having a dinner out with a girlfriend? It's not really. It's something much deeper. It's not about just maintenance or fun things to do, but it's really a commitment to prioritize your own health and well-being above all else and even others. And I know this is very difficult for us women because we're always putting other people first. And radical, to my mind, it's not it sounds like an extreme word. It isn't. It's really more, I like to think of it as essential or basic stuff that we should be doing. It's fundamental. For me, it's non-negotiable, honestly. It's really about a deep dive into practices that will help sustain us, heal us, allow us to fill our cups, our own cups, so that we then can take care of others and help others. Because, if you can't take care of yourself first, it's kind of like, that old example they use about the flight, being on a flight, you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you give it to others. It's absolutely essential. And really, it's about that deep listening, which we're going to do an exercise in a little while about that to help that, to listening to your body and honoring that intuitive wisdom of our body and connecting down to our roots, literally our roots in the earth.
Beautiful. And where does sound and voice and vibration, where does that come into taking care of ourselves and helping us really connect to our body and our spiritual growth?
Yes, certainly. Well, sound is all around us. We carry our own sound making machine right here. We don't have to pay anybody for it. It's free. And really, sound is so interesting because what they're finding out is that sound actually is a pathway to a much deeper level of self-care because it bypasses the thinking left brain. It bypasses our thinking mind and it works directly with the subconscious and the nervous system and our energetic bodies. And the practices align us with like the natural rhythm of the earth, which we're really so connected to. The earth has a vibration, right? Uh, Everything has a vibration. So I say in my before I do a sound event, you've all heard how everything is vibration, and I know that's a difficult concept for people to wrap their heads around because things seem solid. We seem solid, but we are literally a symphony of frequencies. And our cells actually, I don't know how they found this out, but actually there's a couple experiments, scientific experiments that prove this, that cells actually speak to one another with sound and frequency and vibration. There's a communication network.
Wow.
So, yeah, right? Isn't that, it's
That's
crazy, right?
blown my mind, to be honest. I did not know that at all. Yeah.
Right? So to use sound, it can help you replenish your energy and realign those. Literally, you can tune yourself up with very simple practices, um, like conscious listening,
Mhm.
even making organic sound, using the sound of bowls. Not everybody has a singing bowl, but you can certainly listen to it on YouTube. You can go outside and connect with the vibration of a tree. I mean, there's all, the vibrations of your pets, your children. There's so many different ways, because if you start thinking about sound as only something that's audible,
Mm.
you're limiting yourself, correct? Right?
Yeah.
It's really, vibration and sound are everywhere. It is everything. So you can use it. There's so many different ways of using it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, that makes absolute sense. And you're actually going to kindly show us some tools that we can, harness ourselves from where we are to use this great ability of using sound to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. When you do these practices, a lot of times people are at work. Maybe they're working at home, maybe they're working from an office, or they're out driving around. This particular practice is something you actually can do if you're around people, or maybe you want to go outside, possibly. This is from the traditional Chinese medicine. This is the sound is for the lungs. And this is a sound, it's a hissing sound, and this connects to the lungs in order to release toxicity, grief, and sadness. It is the traditional Chinese medicine's idea that the lungs hold that. And interestingly enough, I grew up in a very difficult environment with alcoholic family dynamic. Lost my dad when I was 17 through a car accident on Christmas Eve. My mom, cancer. 9 years later, my brother, not 9 months after that, through suicide. And just, so this was something that I believe happened to me because I was getting bronchitis like clockwork, maybe 2 to 3 times a year. And I've always had really bad upper respiratory issues. So once I started to do these exercises and work with the sound, I haven't had bronchitis in probably 7 years.
And Ruth, isn't the lungs to do with grief as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So to walk you through, I'm going to just support with one of my beautiful bowls. This is a beautiful solar plexus bowl. I just want you to take a deep breath. And then you're going to release on a hissing sound like this. And let's do that again. And now, as you're releasing, I want you to think that you're releasing any sadness, any grief, any toxicity, anything that is not serving you, is holding you back. So let's try that again. Take a nice relaxed breath. Release, release, empty out. And then just notice how you feel after that. You could feel more grounded, more aware, more alert, more present, even lighter in your body. And this is something, if you're just driving along in the car, doing the dishes, go into the ladies' room if you're working in corporate environment. It can be very helpful.
Yeah,
And
that's sorry, I just want to chime in.
no,
So can we just do that without a singing bowl and without any sound? We can just do the S, I like breathe in. Because I know this is like a because obviously I have a singing background and it's a really popular singing exercise where you breathe in and you do the hissing as well.
yes, absolutely. You don't need to have the singing bowl. I was just doing that because, yeah, it just
Why not?
amends it. But yeah, why not?
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. So do you have any others? Because I know you said you had a few to show us.
I sure do. Another one you can do, and this is something that you definitely don't need to make sound for, but you're going to be using the sounds in your environment to do active, conscious listening. And I remember one time I had a few years ago, quite a few years ago, I was taking just a workshop on sound therapy, and the teacher had us all going outside and sitting outside and just being quiet for a few minutes and closing our eyes and listening. And it was amazing what we could hear once we opened up and consciously listened. And then we all noticed how amazingly relaxed and grounded we felt afterwards, too, which was a nice side effect of that. So, this is something that you can do to ground your energy, to get you into that rest and digest state. So, again, I'm going to use the bowl. And if you're comfortable with just closing your eyes, I want you to feel like you're just opening your ears up. Just sort of, if you can, some people can move their ears a little, move your ears a little. Open your ears and just allow in the sound of my voice, the sound of the bowls, and start to tune into any extraneous sounds in your environment. As you're feeling your body relaxing down into the chair, and just notice now how you're feeling. Notice that this can create a shift in your perception and can calm your mind. And it actually gives you, I think, a greater awareness of your inner landscape. Take a nice deep breath. How did that feel?
That felt really, it was I felt like I could feel the consciousness of my ears in such a different way, because I'm used to connecting with my body. I haven't connected with my ears in that way. So giving that prompt to open them up was like, yeah, and I was hearing the sounds like far away in the room and close, singing bowls just holding the space. So that was, yeah, really, I really felt something special then.
And so simple, right? And I mean, what wasn't even a minute, was it? Maybe a
I
minute, if
know.
that.
Yeah, it felt longer. I felt like I was just, yeah.
Yeah, because we're actually in a different space. I think we're in a different, you're in an altered space because you literally are getting into your rest and digest state. You are activating that vagal tone. Your blood pressure and your heart rate are decreasing. So it's really amazing. They're finding out that are speaking, because I know you're a singer as well, and I know you felt this, that when you're singing, there's something very special happening in your body, to your being, right? That they're finding that the brain voice connection is actually like it's almost like a system, a subtle system in our body, and you can feel that how it's all, it just enhances. It's amazing what it does. Yeah, so that's great. I'm not going to be singing on today, but
Okay.
Maybe. So,
Yeah. Oh, it'd be amazing to hear you. Yeah, I feel that when I sing, you know, and just be free with it. So obviously there's a real distinction between how I used to sing, like learning things and perfecting them, and that was taking me more away. I mean, I'd be in the present moment, but it was taking me more away from my spiritual connection. So now when I flow and I'm free with it, I genuinely feel that I'm entering an altered state of consciousness. And I believe that you don't have to be a singer, you don't have to know how to play an instrument. You can just, like Ruth, take a singing crystal bowl or a singing bowl or even a drum and just open yourself up and just see what happens.
absolutely. I love that. I wish I had actually started this work first before I started to do professional singing, because 7 voice teachers tied me in knots. I mean, they were all wonderful, but they're all 7 opinions of what my voice should sound like. And when I became a voice teacher, I really worked really hard to not do that with my students. And then when I started to do the intuitive singing, it was hard for me. I don't know if it was for you too, but it felt, because of all that training, I had to unlearn and throw off like layers of all that training in order to allow the intuition of what wanted to come through.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely, because I think it was like when I started singing and all the training, I was just picked up a stylized form of singing which wasn't really me. And then to now, which I'm still exploring, and now to just be completely free is almost because you're so trained not to, you're so free, and then it's like there's still something in me that, brings it back because it's like, oh, whoa, what are you doing? And it's also about shifting your identity. And again, it's to do with the voice. Again, it's not even to do with singing, it's just even how people speak really reflects what they've gone through in life or how they feel about themselves or how they feel in the moment. Like it's such a powerful communicate, like just the tone of the voice.
Yes, we identify with our voices completely. And our voice literally is a what they call a holographic representation of who we are. I'll tell you a super quick story. Have you ever heard of Shari Edwards' work with human bioacoustics?
No.
She's amazing, but she had devised a program where you speak into a microphone, it goes into a computer program, and that produces a graph. And
Oh yeah.
that graph, okay, is there's a lot several of those programs now, I think, right? But those highs and lows of the graph are what are called frequency-based biomarkers, and that's where you're in and out of the subtle frequencies in your voice. So I had this done, and of course, and I had had blood work done maybe, a few months before that, and for the most part, my voice print matched my blood work. It showed that I was anemic, showed I was deficient in several vitamins, showed that I had a back issue, which didn't come up in the blood work, but was true. A lot of stuff like that. So when we are more free and intuitive with the way we make sound, and we stretch our voice past what we think it can do, it literally stretches or expands our idea of who we think we are. And what your voice can do, what you allow your voice to do, I think that the rest of you, your brain, your body, and your being, your mind will follow, and it will expand you.
Definitely. And Ruth, like, what do people do when they want to sing, when they want to use their voices, but they just feel quite shut down with it? They feel like it's quite suppressed. Is there anything that they can do to open that up?
Yes, absolutely. And that's a beautiful segue into the other exercise I was going to share with you today. What I love to work with people on is what I call primal organic sounding. And that's something I've been doing because it kind of takes you out of the left brain place, because when you have to think about, oh, I've got to sing on a certain, I have to sing a certain mantra, and nothing against mantras, are amazing, okay, but you have to learn the words. You have to, it kind of activates that thinking part of you. Even doing the sacred vowel sounds. So what I like to do is I like to let the intelligence of the body dictate, override the thinking mind, and let the body decide what sounds want to come out. So this exercise can be a step towards that. So what we're going to do, we're just going to start with just a sigh. Everybody knows how to sigh, right? And I think that's a nice sort of a non-threatening way of making sound for people. So again, if you're comfy, closing your eyes, just close your eyes and just get yourself comfy in your seat. And take a nice few breaths, like just let it all out. And this is a great exercise to just really empty out that which is not serving. So we're just going to inhale and then sigh, and do it on a nice long sound. So like this. Let's do that again. Nice inhale. And let's do one more. Nice inhale. And sometimes you might finding yourself want to do a little bit more, because that sigh can turn into a wail, or even a beautiful comforting sound, a comforting sound to your body. And sometimes putting your hand on your heart or someplace in your body that wants your attention. And sometimes sounding into that spot can help too. Just notice now how you feel about that. How does your body feel? Many of us know that feeling of words getting stuck in our throat, or even just making simple sound like that can feel terrifying for people. And we're stopping ourselves a lot of time out of speaking our truth or making sound out of old trauma, out of fear of being hurt, a desire to avoid conflict. And literally, that fear, that constriction is held in the nucleus of our cells in the form of emotional memory. I'll share a quick quote by somebody who I am look up to her so much, Vicky Dodd. She works with her voice totally. It's amazing. Her quote is, "Whatever is unexpressed runs the show." Because we're always reacting out of that, what we're holding in our bodies and our energy bodies, right? So this can just, again, it can get your brain waves into the lower alpha or the theta, and actually our voice is innervated or activated by the vagus nerve. So whenever you're using your voice in that conscious way, you are releasing, you are emptying out the trash, I like to say. You're emptying out the trash, you're getting yourself into that grounded space, and you're literally shifting. Again, you're shifting your perception of your outer and inner world.
Beautiful. That was so, again, really powerful. I mean, I just respond really strongly to anything to do with sound and the voice. But that was a really beautiful exercise that people can just do by themselves in the shower when no one's around, just see what sound wants to come out without even any expectations. And that itself will start opening you up creatively and healing and like expression and all of that. So thank you so much, Ruth. And you also have a really special gift, which is called Radical Self-Care with Sound, Voice, and Vibration. And it's an ebook. Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
You bet. I talked about sound, my radical self-care being non-negotiable. Well, in the June of this past year, I was had the busiest week of my whole career in 7 years of doing sound therapy coming up. I was pushing myself, I have a back issue from way back when, popping the Advil, popping the Aleve, putting on, all sorts of creams and whatnot. Come on, baby, we can do it. Well, I pushed too hard. And a night before I had to do a sound bath out at a facility, I just collapsed and I couldn't move. I couldn't even hardly get up. And I was in bed for over a week with excruciating pain. And after, it shifted me, I'll tell you, because it made me realize I, I wasn't following my own advice.
Yeah, we always have those moments.
Right? Yeah, we all right. So that piece of it started the radical self-care aspect. I thought this is a great radical self-care. That's it. And I started a Facebook group that also with the same name and my ebook, and I probably will expand that into a book as well. And I do a presentation with the same name as well.
Amazing. Well, what a treat that is. So we'll put that free ebook down below with the link so you can all get it. And also Ruth's website, you can connect with her on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and her YouTube channel, which will all be linked down below. And Ruth, I've absolutely enjoyed this session so much. Thank you for being here and embodying your work and you giving us access to these tools that we can use at home.
Oh gosh, I'm just so full of joy right now. I love these conversations. I love sharing what I'm doing, and I love your work as well. And thank you. So grateful that you asked me to be here.
So grateful that you said yes. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you are enjoying this event. I just want to take this time to say that the Golden Circle is still available to you, where you can join us on a deeper level. And the WhatsApp community, if you want to join for daily prompts, journal prompts, meditation prompts, just more opportunity to ground the work that is also available for you and it's completely free. You can check the description below on how to do that. You can just literally add my number and message me, and I will add you to the beautiful group where you will get the channeling and the messages and the exercises and all of that kind of stuff. Thank you for being here. If you keep going with what you're doing, I'm sure that you will receive what you are here to receive. So much love and see you on the next video.